I had an opening joke, and it was going to sound like this. I have not shat all day, so at some point during this recording, I will have to excuse myself. But then Colin decided to take an hour and a half to get to his own home.
Wait, how did you guys get into my home?
And nature called, so I took care of business, and now we don't have an opening joke.
Your opening joke went down the shitter.
How did you get in my home?
I already told you.
I genuinely don't know how. Did you just not lock the house before you left?
No, I went down the chimney.
Why buy a comic that might cost more than a dime? Come meet the brothers who are here to waste your time.
Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast. Is being a virgin bad? We don't know. We argue about it every week. It's an insult. It's also a good thing.
The only problem is once you unvirgin yourself, you can never go back.
No, you can install Reddit. It just boom. You just get.
I install it every now and then.
You just get your card back instantaneously as soon as you get Reddit.
All right.
So I still have one.
Don't read.
For everyone that's listening to the recording, there's a thing that I do often that Spencer bitches about.
Yes.
And he just committed such a war crime.
And then
I did.
He committed seppuku. Let's get into the news, shall we? Us three nude news dudes, because there is quite a bit of news this week.
That is correct.
So as your first nude news dude, Jacob, by the way, because we didn't do introductions, from Deadline.com, an exclusive breaking news. After a thorough search that involved months of meeting a slew of talent, Marvel's new Blade movie has found its director.
Woo!
While a deal is not yet done, sources tell Deadline that Bassam Tariq, best known for directing the Riz Ahmed film Mowgli, is in talks to helm the new adaptation of the popular comic, with Mahershala Ali set to play the iconic vampire hunter. You have two thes, by the way. It says to helm the new adaptation.
Oh, fuck.
Stacey Osier Kufor is on board to pen the script, with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige producing.
Weren't we just complaining about this like 2 weeks ago, not having a director or writer yet?
And I
boom.
challenged you, and it was there, but it wasn't. It was a deception.
Sneaky
Yes.
vampire stuff.
I blame
excited.
Loki.
I'm excited.
Colin had a comment, and then he held it back, so...
After the release of Jungle Cruise, all Disney films will be released exclusively in theaters, and Disney Plus Premier Access is being discontinued.
Thank God.
Two things. That was your second nude news dude, Colin. Two, that means that they are no longer releasing Disney movies on Disney Plus when it goes to theaters, right? Just to clarify?
No.
Okay.
It means that you don't have to pay the additional 30 freaking... Wait a minute. Nope, you're right. I'm stupid.
Yeah, we're not getting those movies till like way later.
Everything after Jungle Cruise will be getting just released in theaters and then put on Disney Plus like whenever, and they're discontinuing the premiering in theaters and on Disney Plus at the same time for $30 because that was ridiculous.
I like.
Yes. Marvel Studios will be creating a designated animation branch and a, quote, mini studio.
From your third nude news dude, Spencer.
Yes, I am very nude.
Introductions are important!
I don't know. I feel like our main topic makes a few too many introductions, like every issue, but we'll get to that later. I'm just wondering where they're going to go with this. If we're just going to be getting, like, they want to make a specific department so we get more, like, just seasons of What If, or what are they doing with this? Because they've been doing animated stuff for a while.
A long time.
And it's mostly been garbage. Mostly.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes or whatever.
And that stopped in like 2012.
Kinda got me into comics, because I watched that before reading any comics.
And that stopped in 2012.
Shut up! I know I'm old!
Yeah, no, that show is great.
Yes!
And pretty much everything since then has been horrible. So... interesting. Are we going to get more in MCU canon animated shows. Maybe a Howard the Duck show.
I was just gonna say, Howard the Duck, baby. It's teased in What If. We're getting a whole season.
Howard the Duck animated?
Yes.
Probably rather...
It changes animation style every episode.
Absolutely. I told you, we put money on it. We said, here's our idea. Disney, don't even pay us. Just steal the idea.
And they did.
They literally did.
Bastards.
It's all our idea. You're welcome, world.
From DCComics.com. Hell, it seems, is home to some familiar faces.
Oh, why?
At
No.
a glance, it looked like hell, it seems, is home to some familiar feces.
Ooh.
Anyway, Audible revealed today that The Sandman Act 2 in Roman numerals, Act II, the follow-up to last year's New York Times best-selling audio production of Neil Gaiman's iconic fantasy comic, will be released on September the 22nd, 2021. Once again, adapted and directed by the award-winning Dirk Maggs, The Sandman's next chapter will also be co-executive produced and creative directed by Neil Gaiman, who will return as the production's narrator. That's cool. Alongside him will be Act 1 cast members James McAvoy in the title role as Dream, Kat Dennings as Death, Michael Sheen as Lucifer, and Andy Serkis as Matthew the Raven. However, The Sandman Act II will take Morpheus to new corners of reality, bringing dozens of new characters to listeners for the first time, as well as new performers to bring those characters to life. Joining the cast for Act 2 will be Jeffrey Wright as Destiny, Regé Jean Page as Orpheus, Brian Cox as Augustus. I'm always good saying it until one of you reacts and then I lose it. Emma Corrin as Thessaly, John Lithgow as Emperor Joshua Norton, David Tennant as Loki, Bill Nighy as Odin, Kristen Shaw as Delirium, Kevin Smith from DC Talk
No.
as Merv Pumpkinhead, Bebe Neuwirth as Bast, Miriam Margolies as Despair, Arthur Darvill as William Shakespeare, Joanna Lumley as Lady Johanna Constantine, Niamh Walsh as Nuala, Aidan Turner, Adrian Lester, Ray Porter, and so many more. The Sandman Act II will adapt Volume 4 of the graphic novel series Season of Mists and Volume 5, A Game of You. It will also take on the experimental Distant Mirrors Quartet and Convergence trio from the Sandman's 6th volume, Fables and Reflections.
Hype is real, hype is real, hype is real. I love all of these people. I need them now.
Audible pisses me off because you get the book for the month that you're a member, and then you don't get the book.
No. It's literally all over their marketing. You are allowed to keep the books when you're done
Well,
with them.
that's not how it always used to be.
Okay, boomer. Back in, present day, not 2014 when the service launched, you get to keep your books now. It's been like that for a long time.
Well, I should have seen that marketing.
It's only been on every YouTube video and podcast. Text dimecomicbros, one word, no spaces, to 500 500. This is our sponsored segment.
Well, anyway,
I always get freaking hippie soap bars and... What's the other one? Oh, freaking TikTok commercials!
Those ones are annoying.
Oh my gosh!
The one where they throw the stupid rice off the stupid sheet.
Nope, I haven't seen that.
It's so bad. Absolute cringe. TikTok is cringe. TikTok ads are even more cringe.
Yes, TikTok ads are more cancerous than actual TikTok.
Very true.
Leslie Grace from In the Heights has been cast in DC's Batgirl film coming to HBO Max.
More freaking Latino leads, and I am very down for this. Out of the short list, she was not the one that I was rooting for, if I'm being honest, but I don't care.
It's not nice to call her short.
Wow.
Get it? Short
My
list.
money... I hate you. I hate you so much, Jacob.
Thank you.
My money was on Haley Lou Richardson. I was very pleased that she got on the short list, but such is life. They're all short, so it works.
You said it again.
I'm just excited for the stinking movie. If they take it into a new continuity, I'm going to kill myself, though.
You say that just about every week.
I know.
See, you're
It's
about to tell
inevitable.
yourself every week, and I'm still waiting.
Well, when they recast J.K. Simmons again, and they're like, no, new Commissioner Gordon, I'm gonna lose my shit, for sure.
See, that's a better promise. Everybody wants to see you lose your shit. That's why TikTok exists.
True. Very, very true. And I have the last piece of news for today, which just came out this morning.
Oh, aren't you a little special boy? You little special bald boy?
It's literally my job to do this, yes.
You little special boy, you?
He's on the news.
You guys are going to be excited
on the
about.
news.
You guys are going to be very excited about this one.
So-
because
I already
boy.
read it.
I didn't
read
send
it
it
too.
out.
I read it. You sent it.
I did?
Yeah. Read it out. We already know.
I would have sworn that just happened this morning.
No, we read it. You sent it to us. Read it out loud.
Never mind. So, an exclusive from Collider.com, Michael B. Jordan and his production company Outlier Society are developing their own Black Superman project for HBO Max that centers on the Val-Zod incarnation of the character Collider has exclusively learned. Sources say that Outlier Society has hired a writer who is currently working on the script, though we were unable to ascertain their identity. Though it was initially unclear whether the Val-Zod project would be a movie or a limited series, sources have since reached out to clarify that, as of right now, it is in fact being written as a limited series that Jordan will produce and possibly even star in, although he has yet to officially comment on the latter front. Hype train is actually real, because this is what we all actually wanted.
Was this the thing in the morning that you found?
I would have sworn! Was this yesterday?
You didn't send us
didn't.
that in.
Gaslighting me.
Wow, it's easy. I should do that more often.
The thing we actually all wanted, something that I do have to say is kind of sus, is the fact that all the minority-led movies that they're putting out are all going to HBO Max. That does not look good. Just saying. That doesn't look good. I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm saying at least optics-wise, that doesn't look good.
It's showing some of that, sides of that. Touch my belly button, daddy.
I want to watch this. I want to watch
I
it.
wanna
I want Michael B. Jordan to do it. Let's do it. Main topic?
Main topic time.
So this one's been a long time coming. We are going to be discussing All-Star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder.
The Boy Wonder, All-Star, Batman and Robin. This is what we'll be talking about.
It is a comic book series written by Frank Miller and penciled by Jim Lee. It was published by DC Comics with a sporadic schedule between 2005 and 2008.
Very sporadic, intense.
The series retells the origin story of Dick Grayson, who became Batman's sidekick Robin.
Dick Grayson, age 12.
The series was to be relaunched under the title Dark Knight Boy Wonder in 2011, when both Miller and Lee were to finish the last 6 issues, but this never came to fruition, as at that time the New 52 relaunched and stuff happened.
It was brutally murdered. Brutally.
I think this was more like slowly murdered. So there are actually 10 issues in this series, but only 9 are collected in the trade. It's real weird. Please, somebody start off.
This book is...
Brutal.
This
Call
book
it-
has me in anger mode. Despite the sound of it.
Yeah,
Because I was in full tilt anger mode 2 weeks ago when I read it.
you were.
So that Colin could have it and he could go in full tilt
Because
anger
I'm the
mode.
only one who actually owns it, because I'm that pathetic.
Yes.
Yes.
Colin, do you want to explain why you're having these very strange vocal patterns right now?
Interjections.
Interjections. Very, very strange
Brutal.
interjections. Brutal, in fact. Well, it's because of the story of Dick Grayson, age 12, and Bruce Wayne. Very hot. Very hot, Bruce Wayne.
Explain yourself.
Well,
Explain yourself without the stupidity.
this entire book is just recapping everything, every single issue, and then we have a statement that's fine as a one-off statement, but then we get 2 more dialogue boxes of, they like my Sonics. They like them a lot. What the is this? Frank, what the is your brain? Where is he right now?
Good question. So, this thing is, it's all
Brutal.
over the place.
Is there a summary? No, of course
That
not.
was the summary. Would you like me to summarize the 9 issues?
Sure.
Okay, so we get the we get the circus. You know, the whole.
Vicky Vale first, of course.
Yeah.
plot summary. Not her.
She is
not,
the plot.
No. Not.
That's the plot I'm looking for. That's the meat and potatoes for me, big boy.
So much for not liking Jim Lee's artwork, am I right?
I never said that!
So we start off with, Haley's circus. Dick Grayson's parents die. Oh no. He gets taken by Batman. Oh no. Police pursue. Oh no. The Justice League hears about it. The Justice League doesn't include Batman yet. Black Canary's working at a bar, getting sexually harassed and assaulted for like 5 pages. Black Canary and Batman on a pier.
That's broken?
Yeah, in a really grungy, busted pier in the middle of... Yeah, that happened. Dick Grayson lives in the Batcave for a little while, puts together some costumes and stuff. Eventually they give him a name, they go on an adventure, they kidnap Green Lantern, basically, and then Robin nearly kills Green Lantern on accident, and then Batman realizes he's been training Robin to be a sociopath, and then they cry real good. And that's kind of the end. Also, the Joker's in here for about 5 panels.
Like, why?
I think that was actually a pretty accurate description of what this book was.
This book sucks. This book is so bad. For every point that has been raised so far on this show about Frank Miller's writing and worldview, let's say, it is only exemplified and magnified in this book. Every woman is just eye candy or a bitch.
And then
both.
every kid is just a brat and should be abused.
Little snot.
Yes.
Little snot.
Should
That
be abused,
brat.
according
Like,
to Batman.
Batman is saying how much he's been keeping his eye on Dick Grayson, how he has potential, and he just constantly calls him a brat. What is that's bipolar as f***. I mean, Batman's bipolar, but not in that way.
So, I think that's a good point to go off of. This book goes with a very different interpretation, essentially, of Bruce Wayne. It implies that he was f***ed up before his parents died. As a kid, he was already kind of psychotic. And I find that to be interesting, even though it doesn't really go anywhere.
But they don't
Batman
show it or explain it.
No, this Batman is psychotic, but then he randomly has moments of mild warm-heartedness, those moments that we kind of all over enjoy sometimes, where it's the Justice League cartoon or Batman or whatever, where it's look, Batman with kids, he's just kind of vibing with the kids, he's being sensitive and whatever. And he bounces between the two so violently in this book. He literally backhands Robin 5 separate times, but
calls him a retard.
Yeah, that happened. This book has some dated language.
Why did he pick him up by hit the neck of his shirt?
Because it looks cool. That's it. It looks cool.
So dumb. They could have used that better.
It's trying to do kind of lip service to a theme that it wants to do, but doesn't go anywhere with. The end of this, the 9th issue, is Batman going, oh my gosh, I've been training this child to be like me, to be a sociopath. I need to let him grieve. And it's actually kind of an impactful ending. At least for me, it's a really solid ending to this book. And then it hasn't really earned that, at all.
Mm-mm.
It's a really good panel, too. That's a good full page.
It's fantastic.
It's very good. And
Robin's ripped as
also true. Robin, age 12.
Age 12, ripped as hot.
Oh, boy.
Joker literally kills a person, and that's it.
Yeah, Joker's in here, and it's implied that he's the one who had Dick Grayson's parents murdered, but we don't know why. And it never connects to anything else in any other
Alfred also ripped off his entire shirt to help Vicky Vale with
Sexy
a
Alfred.
cut. Instead of just ripping a sleeve off, he took his whole shirt off, and he's ripped as well.
Hey,
Jim Lee, are you okay?
Hey, Sexy Alfred. Just leave it alone.
He's right.
Jim, are you okay?
Jim Lee has a very strong appreciation for the human form, I have to say.
Jim Lee is the only reason this book
has made any money.
Has made any money and has any value.
True.
The only positive I have about this book is Jim Lee. And Vicky Vale.
Was going to say that this tests Spencer's theory, as stated a couple of weeks ago, in that how did you say it? A comic isn't going to do well with bad art, even if it's a good story, but a bad story could do well with really good art, or something like that.
Something like that.
But like,
It's along those lines.
this is
You should
the-
always have good or comparable both halves, but you can kind of carry. I think most modern comics, to an extent, do that. That you get carried on really good art for a mediocre story.
Right.
But this has an abysmal story with really good art,
Yes.
and even that doesn't really.
This is
carry
the
it.
test of that statement.
It makes it easy to follow. Like if you cut off all of Frank Miller's dialogue bubbles, every single spoken word in this, and just rewrote it, you could make this infinitely better.
That would be a lot of fun.
That would actually be kind of fun. Like, obviously, there's still insanely strong structural problems.
I have an example of one.
Ooh.
The final fight is between Green Lantern and Batman for some reason, even though Green Lantern is a literal mentally handicapped person.
They do very... Like I said, this book has a lot of dated language.
as-
What? Green Lantern's...
Green Lantern's literally an idiot, a retard in this book.
Yeah, like...
Let me see that.
He's stupid.
Yeah, not like Hal Jordan's kind of dumb sometimes. Like, no, like, he's
fully retarded.
He's definitely retarded in this book. And it might just be because Frank Miller doesn't know how people talk.
But the final fight is in a completely yellow room and everything is yellow except for Green Lantern.
I kind of liked that. It's so goofy, but like...
They've gotten away from that piece of lore for so long. They really only brought it back for this book.
I suppose. Yeah, you're not wrong. I feel like the last issue on the whole is a step up from the rest of them, like on the whole. It's still not good, it's still pretty rough, but it's more cohesive. The fact that it's almost entirely in one room kind of helps with that. It feels more actually story focused. And personally speaking, I do like the story beat of Batman raising this child, and the child does almost murder somebody on accident. And that's kind of like a wake-up call for him. I like that.
The only time we see Robin in his actual suit is when he's fully yellow, and maybe for a couple times when he's crying and painting the room yellow, he's in his full Robin suit.
Yeah, I do like the all the suits in this book, though.
I hate how big the Batcave is. I feel like it's...
Really?
Okay, so if this is supposed to be the Frank Miller universe, right?
Right.
It's too big and has too many things in it. Because... how it is it's not going by the canon, I guess. So in the Dark Knight Returns, Bruce Wayne comments that Dick Grayson called his bat tank the Batmobile, right?
Right.
So that implies
Dick always called it the Batmobile.
So that implies that this has to be the only Batmobile that they've had.
Not necessarily.
Yes. Why would he call that the Batmobile if they
Because
already have a Batmobile?
that was Batman's preferred mode of transportation.
But it's not.
Okay. But
In this.
it just, maybe it was Grayson's freaking favorite mode.
Okay,
Or,
It
to
just
be
doesn't
fair,
make sense.
across the board, all of the books in this universe, timeline-wise, make no sense. Because this book is clearly set in, like, the mid-2000s, but it takes place before The Dark Knight Returns, which is supposed to basically take place when it was written.
Yeah.
And Strikes Again was pretty easily early 2000s. This timeline makes no sense. Like, technology-wise,
Yes,
it makes
that's also what's annoying about
no
it.
bloody sense.
That Bat Tank, just how they're talking about the characters, that should be the only, like, Batmobile. Like, other, like, helicopters or, like, boats or whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Batman
But-
in the Thanos copter.
But this is a big thing for me. Not a big thing, but it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. How do I explain why?
It's a giant pet peeve for you. I get it. I
No.
feel you, my dude.
It's a continuity error, but
It's sloppy.
yes,
It has like no thought put into it. This book is very provocative, but without actual intent behind it or a point.
It's provocative just to have the horny.
Kinda, yeah. I flipped through some articles, like reviews that were written when this stuff was coming out, and it seemed like the consensus was really that it was just kind of Frank Miller being like insane. Like, what would it be like if a 12-year-old boy actually wrote a Batman book with this type of Batman? Everything is cranked up to 50. It doesn't really make sense. Everything is just hyperbolic. The dialogue is atrocious. It's horny as all hell. And it's just, like, psychotic.
Well, speaking of horny, one of the greatest things of this book, and Colin is going to argue with me, is the 6-page folded poster, basically, in the middle of this book of the Batcave.
Ooh, yeah.
It is 6 comic book pages wide.
Panorama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
Panorama.
I don't like it because it's too delicate.
I see very little value to the rest of this book, so if I owned a copy of this, I would rip that page out and hang it up on my wall.
Nice.
Okay, I would agree with you on that.
That's fair.
Handshake, my friend.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
There was I didn't write any of them down. There was occasionally some, like, I wouldn't say gems, but, like, there's some decent dialogue here and there, like a couple of good one-liners. But it's pretty difficult because I didn't write them down. I don't remember them, so clearly they weren't that great. But, like, he was reading through, it's like, that's not horrible. Next line ruins it.
Oh, like, a really good line is, he's the goddamn Batman.
I don't
No!
like that. I like the one line of that I did enjoy was, I love being the goddamn Batman.
That
like
was fine. I think it's fine if he does that.
That same
like,
phrase
once.
is used, I would say, a good dozen times in this book.
I would have said 20 to 25.
It's every time they say Batman, it's always the goddamn Batman.
Yes.
It's like, holy
It's
crap.
awful.
It's just so sloppy.
It takes away the gravitas of using that language.
It's pretty cringe.
It makes it commonplace, and it's annoying.
Yeah, it is really weird. Honestly, the use of language is very strange because we have that. Just on general, the cursing is kind of up there, and clearly,
Yep.
I am no stranger to cursing like a sailor.
Really?
I know, right? Absolutely crazy. But like this book with that in combination with the use of a couple of pretty dated slurs, a lot of times, it feels so edgelordy, and we don't usually refer to things like that because we kind of the three of us tend to like things that are a little on the edgy side of stuff. But like this just feels like let's throw as much stuff out there as we can.
I like edgy with a purpose.
Right, and it's just provocative. It's like let's have Batman call Dick Grayson retarded like 3 times, call him a little snot, backhand him a bajillion times, and
choke him out and
we don't care.
give him
make him
sleeping
eat
gas.
rats.
Leave
Give
him
him
to starve in the Batcave.
Sleeping gas through the knuckles in his glove.
That one's very sketch. Batman's got kidnap gloves.
Why
Like,
does he have
oof.
kidnap gloves?
For kidnapping kids.
If
This Batman is that
you-
psychotic.
If you like edge for a purpose, then why do you pick on the gingers?
Because gingers are actually
I'm not asking you!
Because they have no soul.
That is profound, my dude.
The concept of having the Justice League be in its very early stages, I thought was kind of neat. It's also a strange lineup. We have Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Elastic Man. That was kind of weird.
He kept finding him.
Very weird. He's also psychotic. And Wonder Woman is, holy cow, how can you write like a more bitchy character? This is past the point of Spencer can White Knight for it. It's just, holy cow, Frank Miller doesn't like women, holy cow. It's bad.
Yes.
And she punches Superman, and then they make out?
Her boobs are like completely out.
Yeah. I have to say,
I mean, not to say
Jim
that
Lee-
I should say that women can't wear their clothes like that, but this is not a real life person. This is horny for the sake of horny.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is meant to be horny.
Oh, absolutely. And Jim Lee is fairly well known. He's calmed down over the years, but he is pretty well known for liking the body for sure. And I get that. It's so over the top. And I don't understand why. The tonal whiplash between the two stories of Batman and Dick Grayson, and then we literally have freaking Plastic Man being a kite. For no reason.
I read this book thinking nothing could come close to The Dark Knight Strikes Again.
I still think this is definitely a strike above that.
Yes.
You
But-
bastard! You bastard! I hate your guts! I hate your guts! You make me sick!
Next panel, shoving her tongue in his mouth. Oh boy.
Literally is! What the f***?
So, This is barely better than Strikes Again.
At least it's okay to look at.
Exactly. It is because of the beautiful artwork.
Yeah, that's about it. On the point of the artwork, I really like the pairing of the slightly magenta shaded red with Batman. I'm not sure why, but that's done very frequently in this book, and I think it looks pretty freaking sweet.
The Batman.
The goddamn Batman.
Like the Batman, 2004.
I know, but
that's probably why we like it so much.
Probably. I don't know. I also like that bat signal. I like it as a predecessor to the fat bat signal. I like it. It's nice. There generally did some pretty neat stuff in here. It's just a shame that Frank Miller is an absolute crackhead.
Well, speaking of crackhead, let's talk about the Bad Batch.
Okay, so now that you guys are going to go on the Bad Batch, I'm going to poop and pee.
At the same time?
Every poo-poo time is pee-pee time, but not every pee-pee time is poo-poo time.
This is true. And sometimes when it rains, it thunders.
Sometimes you have a shit where you don't need toilet paper, but you don't know that until you use toilet paper.
That is also true.
I'm shitting.
This is why everyone needs a bidet. Better for your butt, it's better for the environment, and it's better for your septic tank. And also it's water on your butthole. Who doesn't want that?
It is cheaper. I'm not entirely sold on water on my butthole. It gets a little uncomfortable sometimes.
Well, you don't like washing your own butthole?
I don't like a damp asshole.
I can understand that. But that's you only need a couple squares of toilet paper just to like pat. Just give your butthole little pat-pats, and then you're boom, done.
Just like a good puppy.
Yeah, just like like a good like a cat. You know, the big old leg. Well, you don't give cats
on your leg. I thought you were saying like a solid pat on the cat, and I'm like, the cat doesn't like a solid pat.
No. With like a cat, you give their leg because the leg is huge, big old. That's how you give cats pat-pats. Yes. Dogs, you can just head
slap.
Just
a solid slap on the ass. They're like, yeah.
They have no idea what's going on. But yes, Bad Batch episode 13. I didn't take notes for this, which is bad, but I did watch it. Spice, for one. I love spice in Star Wars. Star Wars drugs are cool.
Please explain spice to me,
it's
because
drugs.
I have read Dune.
It's drugs.
Okay, so it's literally Dune.
Pretty much. It can be used in different... For a real-life comparison, it's probably most comparable to cocaine, because you can utilize it in so many different forms. You can have the crack, you can have like the rocks, you can have the powder, you can do other things with it. I'm not talking about drugs right now. FBI, please don't be listening.
That's spicy.
No, it's spice in Star Wars. You can do lots of stuff with it. You can smoke it. Usually it's done like a hookah.
Right.
Is pretty common in Star Wars.
No, I get all this.
I love the pikes. I've always liked the pikes since this got like I believe they were introduced in the Clone Wars. It might have been in the old expanded universe, but
the pikes are
the aliens with the weird heads.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I love them. They're so great. They're assholes and they're weird and
they sound funny.
They got those funny voices and they love their drugs and they're really scary by comparison to the Star Wars aliens, who are usually like cute little things, like Ruby, the cute little like
cat thing.
It's like a cat, but like it looks like a armadillo.
Like I was thinking iguana.
I guess it's got the weird wide nose. Star Wars creatures are freaking awesome.
Yes.
More Star Wars
creatures and droids. Sell Star Wars.
Yes. Merchandising.
Yes.
Merchandising.
Speaking of scary, you had the fly swarm thing in the huge nest.
Spook.
I saw a meme about it online before watching the episode, and the meme was absolutely correct. When they dropped the flashlight down, all I could hear in my head was, "Fool of a took!"
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
There wasn't much to this episode.
Not really.
They go,
they get the thing, they drop the thing, they come back, they find out they have to go get the thing, they get the thing.
And then they're good. Yeah, we have 3 episodes left. We have, wait. 14, 15, and 16. Yes. 3 episodes. I can count. So I'm pretty confident the next episode is going to probably open up with Crosshair being like, aha! I have found them, and I am going to kill them. And then it's going to just start, like, mega long chase sequence.
Ooh.
Something like that. I don't know. I can't believe we're almost done with this season.
I know.
Crazy. The kid's cute. That's all I got. I like the kid.
I have a comment from last episode.
Oh yeah, because you didn't
Because
watch it
I didn't
on
watch
time.
it. Like Colin this week. They were talking about what's his name? The droid Chopper, right?
Last episode?
Yes.
Yeah, Choppa.
Chopper. Okay.
Yeah,
They were
absolutely psychotic murder droid.
talking
Who is owned by a child.
to Chopper, and there was something wrong with him, and Omega was like, "Oh, it's okay, we're all rejects," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, I felt that. I felt that right here."
In the Fifis.
Yes,
It's true.
it was a great line.
We're all broken here. We all float down here.
You'll float too. You'll float too.
I hate you. I hate children in horror movies.
You started it.
I did.
That
I'm
is
an
my
idiot.
favorite scene from that movie.
Really?
When he splashes down in the
Oh.
water and the clown comes up.
I hate that.
That is such a great scare.
I don't know. That's one of those ones where it's not a jump scare, but it's jump scare-esque. And
I would say it's a jump scare
And it-
because of how quickly he splashes the water.
I
It is a
suppose.
jump scare.
I hate that
But
movie. It's a
You
good movie.
know
but-
it's coming because of how his voice is freaking out.
Ugh, I hate that
It's
scene.
so good.
I hate dark water. I have always hated dark water. I hate it. I hate it so much, and I hate that scene.
What makes me laugh is that I know that you don't like the wiggly arm fast forward motion.
And you love it.
I don't understand how it's scary.
I-
They just fast forward him freaking out with his arms and stuff.
Because it's like too fast for you like to react to in real time. Like if that was happening, you wouldn't have time to react to it.
Okay?
Murder Clown will kill you.
He's looking for a hug. He doesn't have weapons. He doesn't have a knife in his hand or anything. He's just looking for a hug with his really fast arms.
And his massive mouth that's like all, his head that's all mouth and will just chomp.
So he's looking to deep throat you?
You heard it here first, folks. Pennywise wants to deep throat children. Just like Beverly did in the book. Colin, hurry up!
Well, since Colin is not back from his chat session, shall we continue without him? Would you like to rock, paper, scissors? Who goes first? Or
Yeah.
settle this like gentlemen?
Sword fight? Ah, yes.
Dang it.
Ah! I get to go first.
What?
Yeah?
Okay. I thought because I lost, I go first, but go for it.
Yeah, I'll go first. Alright, so apologies to anyone listening if I did cover this before. I tried to listen back to the past few episodes and I don't think I talked about this, but it feels like I talked about this.
I think you did.
I probably did, so apologies. So I'm just gonna blow this load really fast.
Oh my gosh.
So I read Batman Earth 1, all 3 volumes, which came out in 2012, 2015, and 2021.
I'm right in the blow zone, too.
That would be the blast zone, good sir.
Oh no, it's not.
Written by Jeff Johns and penciled by Gary Frank. So Volume 1 is an interesting and fresh take on the origin of the Batman, but the structure could have definitely used some work in like the preliminary writing process. It feels kind of sloppy, to be honest. Absolutely gorgeous visuals and panel layout from Gary Frank as always, from the fresh-faced Bruce Wayne to the overstuffed politicians and slimy cops. Gary Frank is one of my favorite artists for comic books, like across the board. He can do everything. He does draw his Bruce Wayne to look a little bit like Christopher Reeve, which is weird, but I don't really care. So Volume 2 improves upon a strong foundation with more interesting character twists and a more cohesive story. The art is improved as well with better coloring and inking with sharper pencil work. It's a little less blunt. Volume 1 at times could feel mildly rushed. Volume 3 carries on as expected from Volume 2, but sadly the plot and story are very lackluster for me. I was very disappointed. The introduction of more characters in twisty ways is excellent, primarily on the back end of the book. It's very setup heavy, not directly, but like world building setup, I suppose. The team essentially that they end the book with, I thought looks really interesting, even though I don't like all of it. It's very different, and I can appreciate that. But yeah, as books that have yet. So far, Earth 1 hasn't gotten a 4th volume in any of its book series, and I don't think they're probably going to right now. it feels weird with how much setup is in this book. In particular, there is one villain setup right at the end, which I find stupidly interesting, and they're probably never going to go anywhere with that. The art is excellent, as always, with some really, really cool redesigns in terms of new characters that are getting introduced now, as well as characters that have been in the first 2 volumes but get new costumes or whatever. And it sets up a far superior volume 4. I think if they end up having a 4th volume, I know where it's going, and I would love to read it. But I just doubt they're going to do it. The imprint has been very slow forever, and it's not terribly popular. And it doesn't get a lot of very overwhelming critical acclaim. So, I don't know. I don't know. And that's kind of my feelings on all 3 of these on the whole, is they're cohesive, but they're kind of not. Like, the story, for the most part, is fairly cohesive, but the quality is very up and down, particularly in terms of writing. I don't like Jeff Johns writing Batman, is my ultimate point. He's fine, but his Batman is boring. He's very generic. He doesn't really take him anywhere interesting. It's the same problem that happened in 3 Jokers, where everything around Batman is way more interesting than Batman. He's just there.
But you really liked him writing Green Lantern, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He can write some characters, particularly Flash and Green Lantern, excellently well. Jeff Johns is one of those guys where it's like, he just isn't made for Batman. Stop giving him Batman books.
Interesting.
Stop. It's just generic, boring, status quo Batman. Everything else is great. The world building is cool and different, and the art is phenomenal, but the way he writes Bruce Wayne himself is just so... Just part and parcel. Jacob!
Yes.
What have you been doing? Have you read or watched or gamed anything fun lately?
I think I'm going to do a 2 for first.
Do it.
Just because it's a lot of work, and I don't need our special son interjecting.
Just shove it in there. Just get it over with.
All right. Don't get too excited.
Okay.
Both these books I borrowed from you, and you kind of liked.
Oh!
A lot.
Those are 2 books that are very strange to put together, but
A
alright.
lot more than me. So the first one would be Batman the Dark Prince Charming.
Ooh.
Written by Enrico Marini, and I believe arted by the same guy.
Yes, he arted the book.
He arted it a lot. He arted it very well, actually.
Yes.
That is the highlight of the book for me. The art style is very unique, and
Painted. Oh, yeah.
it's very, very different. There's not much that looks like it, and that's a big plus for me. It's unique, and I like unique artwork in comics.
Yes.
Sometimes unique artwork does not deserve a series because it would get ugly and nitpicked a lot.
True.
But this works very well as a book on its own, out in space by itself.
In the ether.
Yes. The story, I wasn't as sold on as you were. The Joker is extremely out of character. He just sits and talks with his captive child a lot. And
Yeah.
there's, like, not a lot to it. He's just a dude. And there's, like, the worst thing he does is kill off his own crew because he's mad. And he's trying to get a valuable item for his whatever relationship title here with Harley, who is just a whiny little toddler. I want the thing.
Yeah, she's a complete and utter bimbo in
Yeah.
this book.
And then there's the Batman that looks cool because he's all chalky, charcoal. I should say
Charcoal and paint. It's
which
so
is
good.
beautiful.
Oh.
It felt very close to, I want to say Liebermejo's artwork a little bit. A little bit. It's got some of that painty charcoal features.
Yeah,
It's not the
yeah.
same,
Yeah.
clearly, but they're similar.
It's a similar method of art delivery.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts? Ultimately, what are your thoughts on this book and its very strong sexual undertones between Batman and the Joker?
You were way more horned up than I was.
I wasn't into it. I just thought it was interesting.
Between Joker and Batman. I was saying in general. Like,
It's
you
a
said
horny
this
book.
book is so horny, and I was like, there's one frame that was really, really horny. But besides that, it was just kind of, I don't know, the usual stuff, I guess. I mean, yeah, you have Joker cross-dressing, but it wasn't
That was so funny.
provocative. It was more played for laughs.
I just love the fact that the linchpin of this book falls on, oh my gosh, Bruce Wayne and Batman choke me the same way. That's absolutely awesome.
That was very, very subtle, and I
So
want to
funny.
say you're reading into it.
No.
But it is
It's
there.
Definitely not me reading into it.
So I can't really argue it with you.
It's so funny.
This book you have in hardcover.
Yes.
And you said it's $40 on the first time?
35, I think.
30 for the paperback, you said?
Something like that, I think. I don't know. I'm just assuming usually paperbacks are a couple bucks cheaper than hardcovers.
I probably wouldn't buy it because I probably wouldn't read it again.
I'll skim it again for the art. It looks very nice.
Yes, it's very pretty, but if I want to skim it for the art, I'll Google it.
I guess that's fair. That's fair.
And so the other book I borrowed by you and get to shit on because you enjoyed it is no longer in my notes. The other book I read is Deceased: Hope at World's End, written by, of course, Tom Taylor.
The boy.
Spencer's already covered it. There's not a whole lot that I have to add. There was one thing you didn't include that I really want to.
Oh boy.
There was a gag where Batman, who is now Damian, if I remember right,
Yeah,
is
baby.
riding around in the invisible jet.
Oh, yes.
And he runs over Kite Man in the air. And the invisible jet is has blood running down it. And there were many belly laughs with that joke.
So good.
I appreciate it very much. The rest of it? Meh. It was just business as usual. Not a whole lot. It definitely didn't add anything to the story. It's fun if you want more Deceased and more and more and more and more. This will satisfy you. But it didn't do anything new.
Did you like the weird Robin-Batman dynamic? Did that get any chuckles out of you?
I didn't know the older sister at all.
You don't know Stephanie Brown?
No.
You don't know her?
You gave it 0.1 or 0.5 of a star less than the rest of the series.
Something like that.
I would say like 1.5 or 2. Like, it was...
It's a webcomic.
Yeah, it's more of the same, but there's nothing outstanding about it. It's like $25 for a really small book. I would say it's just best enjoyed as a webcomic.
But it's got that yellow binding.
I know.
It's got that real sexy binding.
But that tickles your collector fetish.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And I'm happy with just the rest of the books on the shelves. Like, yeah, that one's out there. Maybe someday when I hit the Mega Millions, I'll get it. But
I suppose.
meh.
Colon Man. Now that you have emptied your colon, what have you been up to?
So I started reading a manga line that I've been sleeping on for a while.
So many jokes there. Sleeping on like that body pillow.
You know?
Degenerate.
Bonk!
I'm not wrong though.
Anywho, this manga just got announced that there's going to be an anime version of it. So I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, that looks pretty cool. And so I started reading the manga, and it is called Chainsaw Man.
I love the fact that every single time you read a new manga, you describe it in detail, and then you're like, and his name is John Cena! Like, every fucking time. Every fucking time.
I don't even have to cut in the sound clip.
Nah, he
because
just did it himself.
Colin did it very well by
Very
himself.
Thank you. The title of the series is called Chainsaw Man, and it revolves around Denji, who is a young man trapped in poverty, working off his deceased father's debt to the Yakuza by working as a devil hunter, aided by Puchita, his canine chainsaw devil companion. Denji is betrayed by the Yakuza, who kills him for a contract with the zombie devil.
Wow, the Yakuza betray somebody.
It's
Surprise.
not really about the Yakuza, but that's the starting off point.
Do they have Uzis and motorcycle helmets?
No and no.
That's not even accurate, man.
Do they have a video game series based on their life?
You guys are getting hooked on Yakuza, and that's like not even a part of the plot, except
Actually,
for the first.
I got hooked on Denji and Punta, but go ahead.
You. This is a world where devils are brought into life because the energy from the human race. So if there's one certain thing that people are afraid of, it becomes a demon. So like there's there's an eternity demon. There's a future demon. There's shark demon, spider demon. All these are the demons. Like anything that you're like scared of. There's probably a clown demon that I haven't even seen yet.
So you're saying it's the ghosts of Christmas?
No.
Oh.
The main plot is that Denji becomes a devil man, which is a devil who took over the corpse of a human who has like half of his power, but for some reason this time it's different because he has the same power as a devil would have.
Why
So-
is chainsaw in the name?
So the main character dies, and his devil friend is the chainsaw demon. He's the chainsaw devil.
Somebody's scared of chainsaws.
And the reason why it's weird is because it's like a little dog. Like it's a little cute dog looking thing, and he's just like it's just a dog. It's just a man with his dog, and they fight demons, and then they get they're backstabbed by fake Yakuza zombie devil. And he the devil, the chainsaw devil, becomes Denji's heart, and that's how he's able to survive. So for him to become a devil man, he has this chainsaw cord on his chest, and he rips it, and chainsaw comes out of his forehead and his arms, and he's able to keep killing as long as he's ingesting blood.
What kind of drugs do anime writers do?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
You're talking about the Yakuza like it's John Wick, and also chainsaws like it's Evil Dead. This is
It's
batshit
zombies.
crazy.
Of course it's Evil
It is
Dead.
batshit
They're
crazy.
not zombies though; they are demons.
So
Evil Dead are not zombies.
He was talking to demons too.
Also true.
They're devils. They're demons. But there's a zombie devil. It's because
So
people
suck
are.
it.
It's because people are afraid of zombies. So I don't know why they
Yes.
use the word devil, because it's not God and hell.
Diamond.
It's like Jujutsu Kaisen where there's curses.
Yeah.
It's literally just this entity that becomes powerful because people give it power with their fear. In this world, demons are powered by fear.
It suckles on your fear. We got it.
So I didn't really like it through the first book or the first issues. It just seemed really boring, and nothing was actually good about it until we got introduced by other characters that started being more emotional about things. So I didn't understand the appeal, and now I do. And it's not about the world, because the world is ridiculous and it's kind of dumb. The whole appeal is the characters and the dynamics, which is done very well. And they just go back to certain characters. Like there's a character, I think her name is Hymeneo or something like that. She was my favorite character. She was becoming my favorite character, and then she got killed. And they made you become very attached to this type of character, and they showed the effects of a devil hunter dying, and it was just absolutely crazy.
I was in my house eating chips. The phone rang. Jimeneo, kill.
No.
Chainsaw Man, really fun. Gonna try to read as much as I can until the anime comes out.
Nice.
Wow.
I rate it a
We didn't ask.
you man. I rate it a 4 out of 7 so far.
Wait. 4 out of 7 pineapples?
4 out of 7 cupcakes, actually.
Could you really eat 7 cupcakes, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an attainable
Not muffins,
goal.
cupcakes.
I'm not saying the mini cupcakes. I'm saying
Cupcake.
regular-sized cupcakes.
Yeah.
Also, I got issues 3, 4, and 5 at our local comic book store, Jetpack Comics. Luckily, they had them because literally no one has it because it's out of stock and out of print right now. It's that popular that people were buying it, and I came in late to the game, and you can't get the first 2 issues for any like reasonable price at like $9.99, like how they normally are. It goes from $20 to $75 real fast.
Spencer, what else did you do?
So I read more Earth 1 books. I read Green Lantern Earth 1, Volume 1 and 2. There are only 2 out at the moment. They were written by Gabriel Hardman and Karina Betko. I do not know how to pronounce that last name. And Gabriel Hardman did the art. So the first one was published in 2018. The second one was published in 2020. Volume 1 is a radical rework of the Green Lantern mythos while keeping true to the character's core. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous and gripping. Every panel is freaking flawless. It's amazing. The dialogue is really good, and the character of Hal Jordan is awesome, despite how different he is from Earth Prime. Like, this is a radical retooling of Green Lantern stuff. It's very astronaut space stuff, but not like space. You know, like Green Lantern stuff is usually very sci-fi. Like, this is like, we're in space because we need stuff, because billionaires need more money from minerals we can find on planets or whatever. And everyone just does stuff in space for money, basically. It's freaking great. I think you guys would really like this. Volume 2 expands on the Lantern mythos in very meaningful ways without being overwhelming. The art is equal to the first, and there's some really cool new designs. I love how most of the Lanterns' uniforms look. They're just really, really cool. And as it picks up from the first book, it introduces John Stewart in a very meaningful way without being overstuffed, which is typically a problem with the Earth 1 books in general, when they introduce a lot of new versions of previously established characters, especially like the second volume, they get very thick with content, but not with a lot of like exploration of the actual content. It's just kind of more and more stuff. It's a lot more sci-fi than it is sci-fi fantasy. Like, Green Lantern is typically like kind of Star Wars-y. It's science, but it's kind of just magic. This is very, the rings are tools. They have somewhat set rules to them. There are different alien races. They're all treated very differently with lots of gravitas. It's more Star Trek-y. And I like that because I like Star Trek and I love Green Lantern. So I just really like these books. They kind of came out under the radar because the Earth 1 imprint it wasn't dying off, but because their books are published so far apart from each other, it had just been a long period of time without any books, and then they kind of both just came out almost back to back, just kind of out of nowhere. I want the third one in my veins now. The best Earth 1 books. Read them.
Got them full price, I assume?
I did. So they were 20 or 25 a piece, I believe. Well worth it. Also, the green hardcover version is just, the Earth 1 books have really cool binding. I'm not usually one for hardcover books, but certain books like Deceased and the Earth 1 books have really nice, well put together binding. Very hot. What else have you been doing, sir?
I read issues 1 through 4, so all of them, of Daredevil Noir.
Ooh!
From 2018. Written by Alexander Irvine. Irvine. Irwin. Steve. Oof.
Steve!
It's a pretty straightforward story. It opens with the cliche, a good guy walks into the bad guy's villain and says it's over, and bad guy says, what is? And they recap the story so far. That was a little obnoxious.
You might be wondering how I got into this situation.
Yes.
Let me bring you back to 3 months ago.
Exactly. But then it does the sexy lady in the shady office saying, I need help.
Ooh, very noir.
Yes. Which I love. So I can't even sin it for being like that. What I can sin it for is that Matt Murdock falls head over heels in love with the lady in his office
Is it Elektra?
because he's a Catholic, and we've already established that Catholics are whores.
Catholics are whores, confirmed.
Matt Murdock, definitely a whore.
It was not Elektra.
Wow, was it
Wow.
Karen Page? The
It was-
only good Karen that has ever existed.
It was not.
Damn it.
Oh.
It was not Black Widow either.
Wow, okay.
Just some rando?
No.
Wait. Was it Spider-Woman?
How'd you know?
I knew you were going to say that.
You're still wrong.
You.
Why do we think of the same thing? I
They're
didn't
both
know.
stupid. Also, they've in the comics.
I thought they did. I mean,
He's
I swore not
everybody.
with them each other. But
Because he's Catholic. Woo! There was one twist that I wasn't exactly shocked by, but I hadn't considered it. I hadn't seen it coming, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting twist.
Oh, it was Aunt May.
Yes.
Secret Agent Aunt May. You know, that movie that Sony wanted to do that I would have paid money for.
Huh?
You didn't... Did you never read, like, the Amazing Spider-Man email leaks that came out that, like, were one of the many reasons the franchise died? Apparently, yeah, freaking... Sony was like, you know what, we should do an Aunt May spy movie.
What?
Yeah. I want it so bad.
Oh my.
Also, I really, really like the Amazing Spider-Man version of Aunt May. Don't sue me.
Okay, who's the lady?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, screw you.
Why?
Because
Is that
that
the
was
twist?
the really good twist.
Oh, wait. If we guess, you're not
twist
going
what?
to tell us anyway.
Twist my nuts.
No.
Will you tell us if we guess it correct?
Yes.
Is it She-Hulk?
No.
Dang it. They've also... Is it a gender-twisted version of another...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Spider-Man.
No.
Foggy.
I swear to God!
No.
Stick.
Nope.
Ooh.
His Catholic daddy boy.
That he falls in love with? No.
Oh, he falls in love with his
The-
character?
All right, I'll let you continue guessing after
I
the recording.
need to know. I'm going to Google it.
It's difficult to price the series. The artwork is very, very similar to the first Spider-Man Noir. I think it has a little bit more definition and a lot more color to it, but it's very, very similar.
Excuse me, sir, it's a noir book. We're not allowed to have color. It is black and
It
white,
has
gray, and brown.
Some color. The
Shame.
water is slightly bluish.
Unacceptable. This is not real noir.
Also, I didn't write it down in my notes, but the way Daredevil stops the bad guy in the final issue was very well done, and I can't explain it without spoiling it. Don't you dare Google it. I want you to guess.
Was it Kingpin?
No. That is the ultimate baddie that he walks in and says, I've got you. Difficult to price this series. I kind of really just want all of the noir stuff by Marvel gobbled up into one book.
Ooh.
Because they're all just 4 issues anyway.
True.
So don't waste my time and don't waste resources and stuff. Just put them all together. Marvel Noir. $100. Easy.
So, I read the 3rd installment of Batman White Knight, Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
The story was written by Katana Collins, the wife of Sean Murphy, and art by
Mateo Scalera.
what he said. And
Potato sclerosis.
I do want to open up with Spencer. You're very right. You're so right. It does feel like it was drawn by it's like a female perspective. Like the
Yes.
art it's just because it's soft.
But it's exactly what it needs.
But it's Sean Murphy. It's like it's Sean Murphy's art, but instead of it inked and colored, it was painted over. Yeah. And I loved that because when I learned that it was a different artist, I was a little disappointed because I love Sean Murphy's art. But the cover's made up for it.
Yes.
And also the art did make up for it because it's very similar.
good.
The story is just about Harley Quinn juggling her mom life, or juggling her as a mom with her as a woman and her as Harley Quinn not deciding who she wants to be, and then realizing that she needs to be a mix of all of them to be the best version of herself she needs to be.
You know that
While
suit. You know that suit that I kind of got that I mentioned, but I didn't say what it was. You like that suit? You like that suit? That one. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
Nice.
The story is Harley Quinn is contacted by the GTO about a spree of killings of a murder spree of killings of what were they called? Gotham just very old movie stars, Very old movie stars including the Grey Ghost.
Big oof. Man's nearly died.
Yeah, but he's badass.
Yes. I love how it continues the soft the inspiration
of
from
Batman.
B-Task.
Yes, I love that. I was like, this is going to be very much B-Task. Like
Right on
everything,
point.
it feels very B-Task.
B-Task if it was more horny. It's already horny enough.
This one didn't really feel that horny. And the thing is, after reading this and thinking about it for a couple weeks, I don't really see the love partnership between Harley Quinn and Bruce, even after the last comic, the little
so
black, red, and white.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I loved that. It made me a little sad, but even though there's that, it feels more of a brotherly, sisterly relationship.
It's like an in-law type deal.
It's very much in-law.
It's in a weird area where they're both I don't know. You're kind of hot though. But
You're both speaking in code so as to avoid major spoilers.
Yes, because it is a topic in a couple of months.
Right.
Yeah.
So wrap it up.
Very good. Love the art. I have no complaints whatsoever. It is actually a 7 out of 7 for me.
Lovely.
I would read it. I would read it again. It made me want to read White Knight again.
Well, I mean, we're gonna read it again in a couple of months when we do it as a topic.
Yeah.
Fun. We get to dive right into that.
This version of Harley Quinn and B-Test Harley Quinn are the only versions of Harley Quinn I enjoy, because she's not horny as in trash me. It's horny as in I am pre-order MILF. And
Except she
mommy.
is literally a MILF.
But now she's a MILF. She's pre-order MILF and became a MILF and mommy.
Also pulls off short hair.
Very well.
So, speaking of enjoyment, to our listeners, if you have enjoyed this show, please go over to www.patreon.com/dimecomicbros
Money.
and show how much you really probably appreciated this show.
We should open up a tip jar on PayPal so we can get slipped $1 bills.
We should.
Make us feel real sexy.
We can set up a poll in a recording studio and really earn those $1 tips.
Oh, yeah. When we get that actual recording studio done, whenever the hell that happens in 10 years,
Yes.
We will definitely have a poll.
Yes.
It's required.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thigh grip.
We would like to thank our current Patreon subscribers.
They're called patrons.
They're called Patreons.
No.
No.
Patreon is the service. They're called patrons. You've done this for a year now, and it triggers the out of me. They're called patrons from Patreon.
It only took a year, folks, but I finally broke you. Our patrons, Business Casual, Jeff Lawrence, Wesley Eaton, we thank you for subscribing. We appreciate all the support that we get.
Simp 1, Simp 2, and Mega Simp, thank you for supporting our journeys to become better whores.
You're a little bit out of order, but that's okay. They know who they are.
Yeah,
Thanks for liking my art.
Speaking of support, we get a lot of support from Jetpack Comics in Rochester, New Hampshire, right in downtown. I was there minutes before coming over here to record this episode. I was helped by Kyle and another guy, and I can't remember his name, and it's been pissing me off for the 3 hours that we've spent recording this episode. It makes me really angry because I asked you what your name is, and you told me. I'm sorry. But anyway, they were both very helpful with my experience today. I got a whole bunch of stuff.
Wow.
And I'm very excited. And I will be talking about this stuff soon.
I'm stuff.
I'm stuffed.
I talk about both of you all the time.
You need to get a boyfriend. Or a girlfriend. Or literally anybody.
I was trying, and you told me to get off the dating app because Saturday's for the boys.
That is correct.
Spencer should talk about all of our socials.
We have them.
Wow.
Yeah, we do social media, and by we, I mean I. I do them socials. We're on Facebook.
Instagram.
Colin, this is my job. This is my job,
Twitter.
Colin. Twitter is definitely my job.
Instagram. Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
Just me commenting. Sometimes. Oh, senpai!
We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to follow us there, it'd be greatly appreciated. We post previews of all of our shows, as well as links to Patreon if we release any exclusive clips. Just get all the fun stuff over there. We post some behind-the-scenes content, some cringe here and there, sharing some news, sometimes news that doesn't make it into the news segment because it's not really that newsworthy, or like it's funny, or like it's a good meme. Sometimes I share a good meme. I try anyways. And we also have a website at dimecomicbros.podbean.com. We will very soon be utilizing our own URL, which is already on our business cards and our flyers, but I haven't finished the website yet. So don't go to that one yet. We're not done with that, but we will have that soon. And you can also reach us via our email, if you are really old, at dimecomicbros@gmail.com.
The website is still under construction.
For sure. It is in need of help.
And it will be until we're done doing the podcast.
And do you
forever.
know what would help with the website?
Giving me more money so I can leave my job, do this full time, and then actually utilize my web design skills.
More Patreons.
More money.
More Patrons, give us more money.
Just get stretchy pants and just dump money down my pants.
I've got Colin doing it now too.
What?
Patreons.
You guys are
Did
absolutely...
I say it?
You did.
Our Patreons.
You're a despicable...
Give us money, Patreons.
You are
I'll
just-
dance on a pole for you.
You would dance on a pole for
spank,
free.
I'll spank Spencer for you. I'll just the video.
That's not consensual.
He was in my kitchen. You know what's? Let's talk about non-consensual. You know what's non-consensual? Coming home to seeing Jacob sitting on a table with an apple in his mouth and him tied to a chair, and then you are there with a knife making sushi, wearing only a apron, and I'm like, I don't believe you. I mean, I expect Jacob to like be there, you know, tied up with an apple in his mouth.
pretty kinky.
But I didn't believe that you were naked and you only had an apron. And I told you to turn around, and I saw your mountain of a dump truck. Oh my word! Those were twin Mount Everests over there. Saw every crease, every line, every little jiggle.
But he didn't see the birthmark.
Let us just not read.
All right, I'm gonna leave you the one with Leslie Grace because it is 7 words.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I didn't mean
More
it.
than 7.
Sue me. Or screw me.
Guys, stop. Where were you when Twin Tower killed?
Fuck that. I know. I was probably just eating my own shit.